What's up, everybody, and welcome to my front porch. That's not really my front porch. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a small list of dividend stocks that I like at first glance, and I want you guys to review them on your own time to see if any of these stocks might be right for your portfolio. For anyone new here, my name is Troy, and here on my channel, I don't try to push you guys into making decisions one way or another or scare you using fear porn like you might find everywhere else on the internet. But instead, I practice what I preach by trying to find high-quality dividend stocks that outperform the market, have high dividend growth rates, and sustainable payout ratios. Now, these videos are going to pop fresh into your feed every single Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And one thing that's super important to know about these lists is every stock in today's video is going to have an ex-dividend date of this coming week, which means if you guys identify any of these stocks are right for you and buy them on the Friday when the video comes out, you guys will be in line to get the next dividend from these companies, which is always nice to see. So if any of that tickles your guys' fancy, whatever a fancy is, please let me know by leaving a like on this video as it helps me continue to grow my channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss these videos when they come out. But without further delay, let's get to the first stock on this week's list, coming in at number 5, which is FS Bancorp, stock ticker FSBW. Today's video marks the 7th time I mentioned this stock right here on the channel, and if you go all the way back to the very first time I mentioned this stock on February 3rd of 2023, FSBW has underperformed the S&P 500 since then, but this stock still has really good numbers, and I want to show you those numbers right here. So FSBW is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying $1.08 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 2.48%. Now, FSBW has been paying and growing its dividend for the last 11 years. They have super impressive dividend growth rates with a 3-year dividend growth rate of 26.82%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 28.66%, and that's all supported by a sustainable payout ratio at 22.08%. Now, at the time of recording, FS Bancorp was trading 7.19% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of November 7th with a payout date of November 21st. And looking at this chart, it's going to explain the difference between investing in this stock versus the S&P 500 over a 10-year time frame while reinvesting the dividends only. So only that $10,000 is yours. Everything else is growth and the dividends being reinvested. So FSBW would have turned that $10,000 into $61,485.13, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $26,244.29 over the past 10 years. Next up on this week's list, coming in at number 4 is Parker Hannifin, stock ticker PH. Today's video makes the 6th time I've mentioned this stock right here on the channel, and if you go back to the very first time I mentioned it, which was also on February 3rd of 2023, Parker Hannifin has outperformed the S&P 500, so let's go ahead and look at the numbers behind that outperformance. Parker Hannifin is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $6.52 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.05%. Now, Parker Hannifin has been paying and growing their dividend for the last 68 years, and they still have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 17.65%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 13.66%, and a payout ratio that makes it all sustainable at 23.91%. Now, at the time of recording, Parker Hannifin was only trading 3.84% off of their 52-week high. They have that ex-dividend date of November 8th with a payout date of December 6th. And looking at the same chart for Parker Hannifin, this one would have turned that $10,000 investment while only reinvesting those dividends into $63,146.27, which outperforms the S&P by $27,905.43. Coming in at number 3 on this week's list is KKR and Company, stock ticker KKR. Today marks the very first time I'm ever bringing this stock to you guys here on the channel, and I'm super excited to show you the numbers behind this stock. KKR is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying 70 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of just 0.5%. Now, KKR is just now eligible to be even considered in these videos by paying and growing their dividend over the last 5 years. Their dividend growth rates are a little bit lower than I like, at a 3-year dividend growth rate of 6.69%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 6.35%, but it is sustainable because their payout ratio is only 11.62%. Now, at the time of recording, KKR was trading 4.94% off of that 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of November 4th with a payout date of November 19th. And looking at this chart, that $10,000 investment into KKR would have been turned into $82,121.67, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $46,880.83. With that being said, we've now covered 3 stocks out of the 5 I'm going to mention today, which means we're a little bit over halfway through. If you guys didn't remember to leave a like in the beginning of the video, please do so. As I said, that helps the channel. And at the end of the video, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know if you guys own any of the stocks mentioned in today's video and how they're doing for you. And if you don't own any of them, which ones look the most interesting to you? But now let's get to the rest of the list. Coming in at number 2 is a company that sure sounds like a law firm to me, and that's Brown & Brown, stock ticker BRO. Today marks only the second time I brought this stock to you guys here on the channel, and if you go all the way back to just August 2nd of this year when the first time I spoke about it, BRO has underperformed the S&P 500 since then, but this is a very short time frame, so let's look at the numbers behind this one and why I like it long term. BRO is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying 52 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.57%. BRO has been paying and growing this dividend for the last 3 decades. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 12.02%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 10.20%, and a payout ratio of 15.03%. Now, at the time of recording, Brown & Brown was trading 3.43% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of November 6th with a payout date of November 13th. And looking at this chart, that $10,000 investment would have been turned into $72,727.38, which means you would have outperformed the S&P 500 by $37,486.54. Coming in at number 1 is the gas station choice of yours truly, not because it's anything super crazy, but it's on my way to the grocery store where I go every Sunday. So that's Murphy USA, stock ticker MUSA. Now, I've only brought this stock to you guys one other time here on the channel, and if you go all the way back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was August 23rd of this year, MUSA has underperformed the S&P 500, and this is even a shorter time frame than the last stock. And even worse, you would have lost money had you listened to me the first time I spoke about this stock, which is why I tell you guys to do your own research. With that being said, the numbers behind this stock are incredible, and I love this stock long term. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. Murphy USA is a quarterly payer in the consumer discretionary sector, paying $1.92 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of just 0.41%. Now, Murphy USA has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 5 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 19.82%, and they're not eligible for a 5-year dividend growth rate because they've just been paying their dividend for the last 5 years, but their payout ratio is the most sustainable on the list at just 6.71%. Now, at the time of recording, this one was actually trading 14.29% off of their 52-week high, which contributes to that poor performance that we just talked about. Their ex-dividend date is November 4th, but their payout date is December 2nd. And looking at this chart, you can see why I love this stock. MUSA would have turned that $10,000 investment into $87,041.15, which includes that 14+% off of their 52-week high we just spoke about, which is outperforming the S&P 500 by $51,800.31. With that being said, if you made it here to the very end of the video, first I'd like to say thank you guys so much for continuing to watch this series and supporting the channel. But if you're doing so after November 4th of 2024, you need to make sure you have that subscribe button clicked. As I explained in the introduction of the video, this is because all the stocks that I mentioned in today's video have an ex-dividend date of this coming week, which means if you're watching it after November 4th of 2024, you might have just missed that ex-dividend date, which means you need to wait 3 excruciating months before you get paid from any of these stocks if they're right for your portfolio. And we all know
ain't nobody got time for that.
Before you go, don't forget to use that comment section down below to let me know what you guys thought of this week's list, good or bad. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And if you guys did miss last week's video, remember you already missed those ex-dividend dates, which means you are on the long list of waiting, but there's still great stocks on that list. If you haven't checked it out, do so right here. But until next time, see you.